going to record. So thank you for coming today. We're going to talk a little bit about what we did last week as far as commitments go, and then we're going to re-talk. We're going to talk a little bit about the what was it? The Making a Connection May, which I don't know how many of you, even realize that we have a theme of the month, but we do. And that is the whole month of May, we're talking about making the connection. And you can fill in the blank, making the connection with whomever, or your client, or your business partner, or your prospects, or your referral partners, or your networking, whoever. We're just trying to get some clarity on that. And I put that in there. I do want to talk a little bit about the our May schedule, and we're going to talk a little bit about what we talked about last week, because we want to visit that again, but limiting beliefs, and then 4 major fears, and then taking action. And I've asked Danielle, I'll just kind of ask her a couple questions about some of this. I think it'll lead in very well. I mean, if you've listened to Danielle, she doesn't seem to have any fears of anything, but I don't think that she probably really, truly didn't or doesn't. She's probably just done it anyway, right? She had those fears that something might not, she might not be successful, but she said, oh, what the heck, and did it anyway. So I found out, and I think if you spend 5 minutes with her, you know that she is just a ball of energy, and she's going to share some stuff with us. And nothing that I've prepared her for, so Danielle, just relax, no big deal. And then commitments for next week. So just glad that you're all here, and I'm going to stop this because I think it's better to see each other, and then we'll go forward. But I did want to start out by saying, and I was looking there weren't a lot of us, well, there were enough. And we'll just go over the ones that were here. Let's see, Danielle, what do you think from your commitments from last week? I'm looking at going to add to next. That was kind of
I would write.
No, honestly, yes, I was going to reestablish the 5 emails as well as add on to that. And wow, I don't want to say that it's impossible, but it was very difficult finding valid email addresses for these churches. It was easy enough for me to call them when I was overseas with y'all, but side of the pond, if you will, it's kind of it's a lot more difficult to just get an email, and of course you want it to present as professional. So it's not over, it's just difficult. It doesn't mean that it's not doable. It just means it was more difficult than I thought. I was able to get one out, so I was glad about that. I was very glad about that, and I got to reread the email to ensure that it was professional enough, but personable. Like, honestly, I'm not a robot, so
You aren't?
No.
Okay. You have the energy of a robot, or no, you have the energy, the stamina, where we're all kind of like, boy, it's 10 o'clock there and she's still going strong. But okay, so we can get back to that when we get to the end. So you can tell us what you're going to shoot for next week. Let's see. Linda, I don't know. Linda, 10 people. Oh, was that too far? No, that was just, no.
That was recent,
last week. Yeah, that's right. Okay,
so,
go ahead.
Yeah, I am working on getting 10 people to show up for the live event that I'm doing. It's a small room that we're meeting in. So it's a very focused group of people that we're trying to meet with. And I am still working on that. It's next Tuesday. So I'll be working on that all right up until Tuesday morning.
So you can tell us, maybe when we get to the end, you can tell us you said it's a very focused group or targeted, right? So you can tell us more who they are.
Okay.
Not
Yep.
who they are, but who they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't need their names. We need more specifics on the who, right?
Yeah.
Or
Demographic kind of stuff.
Yeah, that stuff. Yes.
May I ask something?
Sure.
No. Yes.
Please. Well, first, Angie, sorry, Siri is writing everything I'm saying. Angie McHale's coming. She's sorry, she's on a long call. And can we advertise on our social media, Linda, what you're doing? And grab you some local folks or whatever,
So it's happening in my area. It's a live event locally.
Right.
So I'm thinking that it probably isn't a good one to put on, something that would be in Indiana, because this is in Ohio.
Our TTR page though gets a lot of hits though, right, Jen?
It does. We haven't really looked at the numbers lately, but I think the more that we put out there, you just never know.
You never know.
Linda's thing.
Or Eventbrite,
Or Eventbrite, yeah.
And maybe for Linda's event, it's not that. I mean, it's still.
And someone may know somebody.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
Jen, right? Aren't you in Ohio? What about Jen Lynn? If you all
Yeah,
know each
she
other?
is probably too far from
Too
her.
far?
She's in Toledo, but
Oh,
but you never know. I guess we should do, that whole thing of who do you know in what's your town, Linda?
So this is happening in Belpre, Ohio.
So, I mean, that is something that we could, and it could be like, who do you know in Belpre, Ohio? 100 people might look at it and say, I don't know anybody. Why would I? But then that one person can look and say, I do know some people in Belpre, or I don't know. But, for
if
future.
you want, we'll leave it in your, if you want, message me, whatever you need. I'd love to get it on
That
there.
is, you just never know. That would be the thing, but you're still working on getting people. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
it's not maxed out yet. So.
Okay. Well, then, Nicole, let's see, what do I have for you? I'm looking back at and I know we did talk. You're working on your freebie. This was 2 weeks ago, though. Why do I not
The
have?
freebie was 2 weeks ago. And then last week, I think the ebook, my 11-page ebook is done right under the wire.
Woo-hoo!
Right under the wire. And I love it because I'm still like adding things, it's for my Start Your Blog class. So I've got some more goodies and I don't want to overwhelm, so as I teach it, I'm like, oh, by the way, so I kind of.
So and I realized after I sent out the leaders email, and we didn't talk about it, is it really, you have a 6-week course for your blogging.
Yes.
Is it too late to join? If somebody wanted to join, you have 1 week down. Really,
I'm going to be running another one soon.
Okay.
Such a great interest that,
Yeah.
so they get the whole thing. So
Cool.
yeah, thank you.
And I was talking to our friend who's the psychic, Nicole, and I know who she is. Obviously, I've kind of gone, but literally, she said, "I see you're signed up for Nicole's class." So I said, "Are you?" I mean, it's really cool because what she's offering is something that we all obviously need. And I've done a very blog so far, but I will do it at some point. But
it's okay. You're so busy.
There are a couple of people though that have worked with her, and they say it is more than worth the time. We can talk about that another time. But talk to Nicole, because she took the Elite Blog Academy, which is, and that's. And we'll go from there. All right. So Diane, did we have anything that, I know you were getting ready for your I'm looking back on, because it's been a few weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna update my business cards, which I did, and
Oh,
I'm
good.
still in the process of setting up my self-directed IRA so I can be a private money lender.
Wow. But she went to her event, guys, and it was really wonderful. So,
Yay.
and you just walked away from that just in awe, and then you had scratchy throat and everything. So we missed you for a couple of weeks, but you probably needed to kind of regroup and rest. And tell us who were a couple of the speakers?
Barbara Corcoran and the founder of It Cosmetics, who sold her company for 1.2 billion. to
Bummer.
Barbara
L'Oreal,
Corcoran
and
from-
they made her, she's the first female vice president in their history. So she's a vice president for 3 years, and then she's out of it altogether. But yeah, amazing how she has a book out, but
Yeah.
how determined she was. She just didn't give up. She just
And
kept
I would say that's kind of like the big finale of our don't give up. Please don't give up. Keep plugging along. Yes, keep plugging along because it is not something for the faint of heart, right? The people who give up just probably gave up right before they succeeded. That's what I've always been told.
I know you hear that a lot.
Yeah. So anyway, well, Diane, we will come back at the end and we will have everybody come up with, so we're really excited that you're back and I'm glad that you felt well enough to be on the call today. And Angie's here. Mr. Captain Commitment isn't, but it's all
He's
right.
still moving. He came back yesterday
Oh.
and then was yesterday Tuesday? It seems like so long ago. And then he has something today I can't remember. Plus, they've got their boosters. And Jan and we were on a board call and we're like, and you're driving back on Thursday and you're getting your boosters? Don't do it.
Well, I had my booster. I didn't feel anything, so I don't know.
Good.
But then we've got Diane who's kind of been under the, well, you didn't get your booster though prior to that. You just were.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got it about 2 weeks prior. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think it was COVID, because I
Okay.
had COVID at the beginning.
I did too. Okay. All right. Well, we'll give Jim a pass this week. Hopefully he'll be back next week. Angie's here though. Woo! All right.
Hi,
So
guys.
we're talking about our commitments from last week, and I am looking, I don't know. Did I have a commitment for you? I did a sketchy job of
Yeah,
writing.
mine is to continue on my CRM, continue to add 10 people, which I've done. And then the other one was to create a list of nonprofits to send a blast email out about wine fundraising. And I've got, I don't know how many I have on this list. I have some introductions from people that have to do with nonprofits, so I have to follow up on some of that.
Okay.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only have 6 on this list, but it's coming along.
Yeah. And I know that is what I was just sitting here thinking, boy, if somebody were a fly on the wall and they were listening to this, they'd say, who is this Jennifer Johnson? And why does she think she can be so mean to these? I'm not being mean, but we all kind of bought into this at the beginning that we were going to share this. And this is what a mastermind typically does, some element of this where every week you're, that accountability thing, it does make you doesn't make you, but you're more inclined, right, to do it because you want to say you've done something. I would say right now, I don't even know what mine is. I will share that with you another time. Actually, I am doing pretty well on things considering we have so much going on. I'm if I don't say so myself. So
I can think of a couple things you're doing.
We have a couple things going on. And then to top it off, let me just say, my sister is helping me with my daughter's shower on Saturday. And the end of the story is that she's a massage therapist, and yesterday one of her clients had got COVID, and is positive, and she did a massage for him yesterday. So now she's thinking, uh-oh, what if I've got it and I can't come with all the stuff? Now my mom's, it doesn't matter. But that was just, she called me a little while ago and said, I just want you to know. And I'm thinking, oh, this sucks. But we'll all keep thinking positively that she is going to be here.
Positive vibes.
We will not go down that road. So anyway, let me just really quickly, last week, and I remember because Angie was here, Nicole, you were on, right? And Danielle and you and I guess, right? So we were talking about fears and being held back, and but I was talking about, and just some little things. Oh, first, we have Linda next week. Linda is going to do our our group next week. I'm actually going to be at the Taste of the Chamber representing TTR networking. So I will not even be on the call, but you all know that Linda's been sharing or presenting every month, and pretty excited about that. And I know we will record that, and I'm pretty much sure that Nicole, can you be on during that? Because you have other things going on, but you can make sure that we get that recorded so we can put that up.
Yeah,
Okay.
I won't be here next week either.
Okay. Are
But
you
I will watch the recording. I always love when Linda talks.
Yes. She doesn't like when anybody.
That's not what she said, Jennifer.
I know.
She always has really good subject matter. I
I
always
know.
learn from
The
her.
way that I said that, I was just like, wait a minute, I gotta be. Okay, anyway, so we are very fortunate that we have Linda next week. And then literally, guys, the Wednesday after that is we are going to, if you remember, I don't know if you remember, but we planned on this for 3 months, and then we're gonna take some time off. But we are launching a new program that's called Ignite, and it's TTR Networking Ignite. And it's all for people who have never networked at all. So, and we've got a lot of those people. Believe me, I get probably 2 or 3, maybe 3 or 4 of them a week. And that's a lot when we're getting so many people who are, beyond that are ready for the mastermind or the networking, the industry exclusive. So anyway, you'll see more about that. And we'd love to have everybody continue on. And even if you want to join in that, that is going to be like, Ignite is, kind of getting people started. Where does that fire come from? It comes from within. It's great to be in a group like this and inspire people and, do all the things we're doing with the accountability and really helping. There will be some of those elements, but some people, literally a lady called me yesterday and said, I have never been in a networking organization. I have no idea. I was talking about all these things and it was just going right over her head. And it really wasn't, to me, it didn't seem like it was that high level, but she said, I've never even known that these groups exist. So we'll be sharing more out there. But the last meeting will be the 25th. And I asked Danielle to talk a little bit today, and the 25th, I'm hoping she'll talk a little bit more. And then Linda will present next week. But, like I said, the big finale of this is whatever you do with your business, and we're not closing now. I'm just saying, don't give up. Persistence, persistence, persistence. It may not end up being exactly what you thought it was going to be, because we've said that you take the next right step, you do the best with what you have, and you just keep plugging forward. We talked last week, though, we talked about fears. You've probably all heard that fantasized experiences appearing real. And Angie was talking about, really interesting, because I don't think Angie has any fear at all. But Angie, you talked about what was your biggest fear. Can you share that with? Remember what you said about the other people in your neighborhood?
Yeah.
Do you remember what I said?
I think I was talking about, was I talking about why I have decided that networking is where I'm finding people as opposed to neighbors, because they don't get it. But if you're a business owner, you also have skin and you also like to raise money for nonprofits. So that's a great pool, but they understand our messaging. When I message, you know, ABC mom that I met at the pool, who either is a stay-home mom or she works her 9-to-5 job or whatever, and she doesn't understand any kind of sales role where you have a message, you have a product or service to share. And I say, hey, I've been doing this. Would you like to hear more or whatever? They're like, what, why are you texting me that? You know? So yeah, it's gotta be, if it's gonna be from other moms and neighbors, it's gotta be very organic and not from a reach out. Reach outs work with business owners, with other people in the networking world that also have businesses to share. It doesn't mean we're always going to buy from each other, but at least the message is well received and they get it. They understand what I'm after. I'm after a relationship. What do you do? I'll tell you what I do. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. But the people that aren't in this world don't necessarily receive messages in that way. So,
But does that, so I think maybe what we were talking about last week too, was that you were a little bit fearful of even talking to those people, and that shouldn't keep you from doing it.
right.
It just should.
So it's funny, if I look at, let's say 25 or 30 moms that I kind of communicate on a regular basis because we're in carpools, or, you know, we got cheer, we've got soccer, we've got show choir, we've got this thing at the school tonight and all of that. It's just kind of weird to be chit-chatting away about this and that, and then, oh, let's play cards in 2 weeks, your husband and me and my husband, and blah, blah, blah. And oh, by the way, did you see that Ever has a sale? It's like, it has to be organic, and it has to be, they ask me about my business, but I would say that probably 75% of that list that I communicate with regularly either has tried Ever or is on it regularly, like orders regularly. So it has happened that way, but I find new people coming in, it's not as easy to have that conversation. So
But
that's my fear. And
Yeah.
people in my business are very successful with that. Oh, let's talk, sit at the pool and share your skincare. And that just doesn't feel organic to me unless it comes up or they ask what I do or something like that.
Yeah, so I think that, you know, so really, when you look at the different kinds of fear, there's fear of failure, there's fear of rejection, looking foolish. And maybe that's not that Angie probably.
Looking foolish is probably that
Yeah.
category that I'm talking about.
I don't think any of us have ever felt like we were gonna look foolish, right? I mean, yes. I mean, you know, exactly. When you say something to somebody and their eyes are like, what the heck are you, exactly what she said. They don't, and I thought about it. I live in a neighborhood. I should be walking down the street with, hey, you want to network? You know, we got a networking. I don't do that because it's a different kind of a thing. So it is, but you have to do it. I think it's, you know, looking foolish, rejection. None of us ever worry about rejection, do we? Do you not tell people because you're like, I don't want them to know what I do, because you know what I mean? You should be sharing it. That is part of it, but how many of us are a little worried that your brother-in-law on the whatever might say, I'm just using that as an example, you're trying to sell me what? You know, I mean, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just want you to know what I do in case you ever meet somebody who needs what I do, you know? I think that's probably one of the biggest things we kind of miss in the networking world, that your own family sometimes, your best friends from high school that you connect with all over the place, they don't know what you do. Because we're afraid to look foolish or be rejected or whatever. So that fear is fantasized experiences appearing real. So I wanted to just really, really quick, you gotta experience the fear, but take action anyway. However you get through it. I just wanted to read a couple of these, and then I'm going to ask Danielle a few questions, because I think we can all, you know, you can all ask her questions, actually, not just me. This is Bob Proctor. Has anybody ever heard of Bob Proctor? He's actually a TV personality, self-made millionaire, success trainer, featured teacher in the movie and the book, The Secret. But we come this way but once. We can either tiptoe through life and hope that we get to death without being too badly bruised, or we can live a full, complete life, achieving our goals and realizing our wildest dreams. I mean, obviously, I always tell my husband, I do not want to look back and say I should have done that. Why didn't I take that chance? This is Mark Twain. I have lived a long life and had many troubles, most of which never happened. So if you think about that, like how many times do we talk ourselves out of something because we think it's going to happen a certain way, and the trouble really probably never ever would have happened. You're all shaking your head. You kind of know what I'm saying. Mark Twain, you know who he is, right? Couple more. Let's see. Oh, Frederick Wilcox, he's an American author, says, progress always involves risk. You can't steal second base and keep your foot on first.
No, you can't.
Then taking a leap, well, okay, let me say this. Taking a leap can transform your life. This is Peter Uberoff. Authority is 20% given and 80% taken. So take it. I heard something today, that imposter syndrome, we're all worried about, thinking that you're afraid to take that whatever, that leap and try to set yourself up as, you don't want to share with somebody because you're afraid that they're not going to take you seriously or whatever. You've got to just step out and be who you are. So Jimmy Johnson says, do you want to be safe or good? Or do you want to take a chance and be great?
Wow.
And then the other, Michelangelo, some of us, all of us probably on this call would say, if I'd only known how long it was going to take me to get to how many of us? And Michelangelo says, if people knew how hard I had to work to gain mastery, it wouldn't have seemed wonderful at all. I don't know how many years right here. Oh, yeah. Renaissance sculptor and painter who spent 4 years lying on his back painting the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. And there's a lot more where that came from. But I guess what I was thinking with, what I was thinking with Danielle is that, Danielle, I know you've done a lot of stuff in your business. Did you ever have any fear when you were doing any of this? Do you still have fear today?
I had fear when I first started. To be quite honest, I didn't think that I was the person for it. Like it must be for someone else. So all of the things that looked like the qualifications were all the qualifications that were on the side or on the page that one would look at to say, okay, I can check that off. I can check that off. I didn't feel like I could check any of those off. It always felt like I was always under or below the bar as far as what was required to make it work. But the fact of the matter was, it was fear because really, I am a very out there, anybody would say, you're just so energetic and bubbly. I would never think that you have any problems with, talking but I moved a lot as a child. So you either talk or you get left behind. So that was something, and that was a protective mechanism, and we can go into that IFS, but really the thing is I was always afraid. I was always afraid to give my opinion. And now with what I do, I give my opinion all the time. And so the question does come up sometimes to myself, not from anyone else, but to myself. Are you sure you know what you're talking about? Yeah, you studied it for years. Yeah, you got certified. Yeah, but really the fear is sometimes it still creeps up once in a while. Are you sure you don't know enough yet? Keep studying and then share the information, because once you know it all, which we all know we will never know it all, then you will be able to speak with confidence and you won't have to worry about being disproven later.
Yeah. Wow. So you tell us, just so everybody remembers what you have. Tell us what you do. I know Diane's been a few weeks since she's been on. And
Yes,
so
so I'm a ketogenic integrative health practitioner. So what I do is I help people get to the root cause of their problems, of their health issues, and as naturally and as whole food wise as possible, get them away from it. I don't deal with medications. I don't prescribe, I don't cure, I don't treat, all the disclaimers that come along with it. But what I do is I help people to find where their root cause imbalances are. And then I guide them to wholeness, once again, to rebalance their body. So it's really exciting and I love it. I love it so much. And I've seen success with several, I say several because to say many is to throw a big number out there, but several people, because that's who I've worked with, several. And I've seen success with it, and it's just been so beautiful and exciting. So that's what I'm doing and I don't want to say at this current point, because I will say at this current point, because I can plan on continuing to add more and more and more, and not for the sake of feeling like I'm not enough, but because I want more.
Right. I don't want to, Diane, I'm curious, you just went to this big event and it was all women and they were all different levels of success. Did they give you any, just, what Danielle was just saying, did they tell you, do you have to, I know what I think, and it's exactly what Danielle, they didn't tell you should wait until you're all qualified and certified and know everything about everything, right?
No, you need to jump in and then everything is figure outable.
There you go. Okay.
As long as you're a couple steps ahead, but if you wait until you think you know everything, you'll never take action. So, as Tony Robbins says, taking action is power. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't take massive action,
yes, exactly. And I said there was a quote in here. Somebody says something exactly about that, because the next time we're going to talk, it's all about action. If you don't ask, you're never going to know. And if, we're a little nervous, our son just quit his jobs. They're starting a solar panel cleaning business, he and his wife. A long story, but they've got investors, are very excited for him. But I'm like, oh my goodness. I don't know that there's anybody out there cleaning. He's done all the research. We're very excited. But I keep thinking, I'm sitting in these mastermind groups with networking people all the time. And I'm telling you, you got to take a chance. You got to do this. When it comes to my own son, I'm a little bit nervous. But I will say, I told him the other day, I said, you're going to hear people who are going to have objections, or they're going to have, they're going to have reasons that, he's already done a lot of, I'm very impressed with him. I am. And I just said, you got to look at it as an opportunity, not as an obstacle. It may open a whole new door if somebody comes up with something you didn't think of. My husband's very helpful. He's been saying, now are you thinking about if you need to get a ladder? And now these things have to be thought of. I'm not saying, but I'm just kind of like, you have to learn on the job a little bit. And I know, Linda, you were looking off in the distance. Were you thinking about solar panel cleaning?
Well, a major client of mine is a solar panel installation company.
Yeah. So
in Ohio.
There you go. That would be, and I didn't mean to bring this whole thing into this, but it just kind of goes along with it. If you look out there, there's not many companies. I think some of the solar panel cleaning companies, no, not cleaning, the installation companies are the ones who might do the cleaning on the side, but they don't do it. It's not that hard to do, I guess.
I wonder if they would be good joint venture partners.
Yeah. So, and that's what we've been, obviously we've been saying, you reach out to solar panel people, he knows that. He's done the business plan. He's working with my brother who's an investor in the company. My brother's very well off, but I just would say, when we're talking about all this, getting back to our group here, you know, those obstacles, I mean, every time I get on a call with Linda, I say something new and then I see the look on her face and I'm like, ooh, is she going to come up with something new that's I shouldn't have considered before? We just had a meeting like that just what, 2 hours ago, an hour ago, 2 hours ago. It goes on forever. But you know, I used to look at those as like, this is the most awful thing ever. Somebody's got a reason that it shouldn't work. Why can't it be, well, let's see how we work around. Aren't we all problem solvers anyway?
Yes.
I mean, Danielle, okay. So did you have a YouTube channel first and then the podcast? Is that the order?
Yes,
Okay.
that's exactly how it went. Yes, I realized that my health was getting better. I didn't figure it out really. I watched YouTube and I saw this guy explaining things and I said, okay, I'll follow that.
Now you did have your daughter helping you on some of that stuff though, right?
Yes, she was my editor.
I got
See you,
She was
Angie.
Bye,
See you next
Angie.
week. Yes.
my music video. She did everything. Like honestly, if you were to look at the video and how the music is set up and how the cameras and the pictures, and I said, oh my word, girl, you know, you have a job in video. When you are older, I will pay you, but for now, you do it for free. But but honestly, you know, I had help. I had encouragement. I did have my YouTube channel first. It's called The Lucky Stove Show, and it started off with all kinds of nerves. I was as nervous as all get out, to be honest, because I thought I needed to be someone I wasn't. I was trying to be Susie Homemaker with a dash of Martha Stewart. And it turned into a big mess. I wound up kicking my husband because he was being normal. So I kicked him.
You literally kicked him.
He was just standing behind me singing. And I promise you on camera, of course you could edit that stuff out, but I remember it because like, oh, what did I do? I threw my leg back and kicked him just like a donkey would. And I just, you know.
That's what you said that, yeah.
Yeah, just because he was singing, but this had to be a professional show.
Oh boy, if I were trying to go professional right now, I'm pretty much I sing on, well, it doesn't matter. I don't sing on here. You guys know that, but I know you shared that with me before. That's interesting.
Yes, and I felt so bad, you know, because I was trying to be someone. We sing all the time. We walk around singing all the time. We're jumping around singing all the time. We are getting crazy and acting silly and just being ridiculous all the time. But when it came to the show,
Not on the show.
professional, clean, perfect lighting, perfect sound, you know, the works. Go get the least expensive, but expensive enough equipment. And yeah, that didn't work out either because that's the.
It's
So
inexpensive for a reason.
Exactly. So really, and a few items later of utilizing this equipment and that equipment, we finally got it down. But in the end, I was so afraid of being ourselves, and I wanted the projection of all the other YouTube cooking show people, but online with Martha. And I realized I'm not Martha. I'm just not.
Right.
And that made a big difference because I was scared to be rejected for who I was. And that was a fear. It was a big one.
So Danielle, I asked her if she would help with this new group that's going to start. Now we're a mastermind in here. We're kind of digging in. We do it in the hour that we have. And I know we, you know, there's going to be a lot of similarities. It's going to be a lighter touch because we want that her energy, her obstacles, her fears, all that kind of stuff. And knowing that we are talking to somebody who's living in the Netherlands was a big deal to me I want it to be a global feel, like, you know, you're not coming into a networking group or you're coming into a group that really comes from all different places, different levels, different, you know, we've all had our rejections. We've all had, you know, anyway, so I'm excited that Danielle agreed to help me with that. And that's why we're doing it on Tuesdays at noon, because that's only, what time is that? 7 o'clock your time? 6 o'clock your time? Yeah, we decided their Mondays were not good. I was going to try to do that. But anyway, so we've been very fortunate that Danielle's part of this group. Obviously, you're all wonderful additions. But when Danielle was talking about all these things that she's done and trying to be perfect, I said, okay, let's talk about this today. So any you guys got any, ladies got any questions for her? Because you certainly can ask her. I mean, I know we've shared a little bit in here. What's the YouTube show called?
Yes, it's the Lucky Stove Show.
The what? Lucky Stove?
Yeah, and the tagline is, may your stove bring you luck or a coupon.
Stove bring you.
But it is all the keto stuff, right? Isn't it? Or
It's
just
keto and low carb. Yeah, I've been
Love it.
slowly transitioning it to so that it can encompass everything healthy as opposed to just keto. But to get it started, because I was on a keto journey, that's where I began, and I just opened up those doors and let it fly. So you'll see a lot of keto recipes and low carb recipes. You'll hear snide remarks about carbohydrates and the keto.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
I feel so, I cannot believe I've not listened to your podcast yet.
Oh
But
my
I have to ask, your first show, what was that like? Was it scripted? Did you have scripts or bullet points? You
oh
know,
my goodness. I was so full of nerves and energy at the same time because I knew it. I felt it. I said, this is it. This is it. I felt it. I said, ah. So when I started it, I told the family that I was going to start okay, I'm going for my first podcast episode. This is the first episode. Oh, can we join?
right? You're like, not this time.
You know what? I needed it because I was just talking to a blank screen,
It
and
helps to talk to somebody. Yes.
and I find that I can do well talking to I do well all the time talking to myself, but when I see people interacting with me and or laughing or even rolling their eyes, whatever it is, it's so much more feedback, and then I get the energy that they're putting out,
Right.
and I get it back, and it feels awesome. So that first podcast episode was
Okay.
so great, and then I titled it completely wrong. I called it this Circle Friends instead of a Circle of Friends, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to edit this thing. They're like, no, leave it. This is
Yeah, I would just, I just, I love it.
friends. So, instead of the triangles and the squares in the body shapes, you just got your circle friends, and it was great. It was fantastic, really. The energy that I got back from it was so good. And even though it was my first one, it was not as educated as I thought I would have loved for it to be, to help people. Because the point of the podcast was to help people. It wasn't just to hear myself talk. I can do that all day by myself. But to help people, I wanted to give them more than just a layman's version. And I just wanted to give them a little bit more meat, or maybe some gravy also. And
Ooh, gravy. Sounds good. I'm joking. Just food-wise, I'm not a gravy eater anyway, but there you go. That's cool. That's cool.
Add a butter on there though.
Yeah, pat of butter.
Butter.
Pat of butter. So, that's a good question, Nicole. Did you got your answer then, right?
I did. I love it. Something about the first, because I think back to our video cast and, the first.
Right. And we've been waiting to do 50. We've had, yes. And we'll
I
have to
know
have, I think we have to have Danielle on there, actually.
I'm sorry.
I know.
sorry,
Linda,
other
were you on
person.
our-
We're gonna-
Were you on our video cast, Linda?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
I
good.
did one. It's been a long time.
Yeah, we haven't really, we need to do that again. And then Diane, we'll have to get her too, but we had it was our video cast and we had 49 episodes within a year and a half or something.
Yeah.
And we've been waiting for our nonprofit guru who does our TTR Cares to be our 50th guest, and she's yet to schedule but we've got so many things going. Yeah, so we'll get it done. But I actually, when I knew Danielle did a podcast, I was like, okay, maybe we need to pick her brain and really figure out how we move the needle ahead, or, you know, the
Yes,
whatever.
we do. We have 49 opportunities to turn them because Zoom gives us the audio, right?
Right.
And we can turn it into a podcast. you
Oh,
know.
golly gracious.
They give us the
Okay.
audio. It's,
Yeah, Linda, we got that. We could use that for marketing. Hey, I
Yeah.
forgot
There we
that was
go.
out there. Yeah, I
just
forgot
not
that.
the early ones, not the.
The early ones were fine. Don't listen to them, Diane. Don't listen to them. They're fine. I'm joking.
Six,
The
maybe
early
after
ones were,
6.
we were a little bit goofier at the beginning because we were kind of camera struck or whatever. But anyway, we'll get to those. So Linda's going to present next week on whatever, and I don't even know. She might not even know. Do you know?
So
Yeah,
I
you
have
have-
some ideas about, I want to follow up with today's meeting, but certainly getting very strategic about, how do we get stuff done?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll dive deeper on.
And yeah, so just that fear thing, do it anyway, guys.
Yeah.
Even
Do it
do it
scared.
messy, do it scared. That's what it is. Okay, so we need to get some commitments for next week, and I'm writing them down. I do write them down. I don't know why I had kind of a really crappy note taking from last week, but what do you guys, let's see, Diane, what would you like to do for next week?
Okay. One thing I'm really bad at is social media.
Okay,
And so I met a guy out in Pittsburgh when I went to a real estate event, and he's a social guru.
okay,
And anyway, I joined his real estate mastermind group, which meets every Saturday at 4:00. He's out in California. And so he gave me a little bit of tutoring. He gave several of us a little bit of tutoring, Facebook 101 at the end. So my goal is to do 5 good posts this week where I ask questions, put in a GIF, something that catches people's attention, and kind of put into place and practice the things that he suggested.
oh, cool. So is that Facebook, or is that, did you say that? Is it Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook. Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, good. Well, that's biting off a lot. Yeah. But obviously you've got some of what you're gonna, or his training has prepared you to do that, right? So
Well, it got me out of my fear mode.
here, there you go. Cool.
Despite having a millennial and a Gen Z, they're no help with social media.
They're both, oh, Mom, come on. Yeah, I know. I think I sometimes make my kids a little crazy because I post something and they're like, what are you doing? All right, Nicole, what do you think?
Me, I
Yes, ma'am.
love that idea. And I've kind of actually gotten away from mine. I'm kind of doing different things, but I want to bring that back. So because you add in a component of like a hobby, Diane, or, something to make you relatable, maybe
Mhm.
a pet, or I do a lot of like inspirational memes.
I do, yeah.
But I just love those though.
Me too. That's what I post.
I know, but you know what? Maybe that's it. Maybe join 3, not to overwhelm, because I do love joining Facebook groups, but maybe 3. I think outside the box, how some of them have the inspirational memes. Maybe I can come up with something. I don't know, maybe like a hobby or something.
You're not going to come up with a hobby. You're going
Maybe
to
like
talk
reading,
about a
maybe
hobby.
books.
Oh, yeah, you do. You read books.
I
You
love
do.
books. Maybe books will be.
You read
one.
books. So there's
Yes.
groups out there that you could
Okay.
join to
I've
be.
got some blogs, but yeah, books. And then, okay. So that, and then I'm working on my, for my one-on-ones with my Start Your Blog, I do a half-hour discovery, and which I'm setting those up, but I want to do structured questions to make sure that I cover, everything.
Okay, what did you say?
So,
questions? What are they called?
structured
Structured
questions
for your
just-
one-to-ones.
Yes, for my one-to-ones. So
Okay.
so structured questions doc.
Okay. Okay. Danielle or Linda, either one. I'm just looking at you for for one-to-ones. Okay, what do you guys think? Ladies think?
Shall I? I am working on so many things right now. I just need to narrow some things down.
Okay,
I'm working on structured questions too for one, and profiles and protocols. And so what I'm going to do, I think, at this point for the business is do some money making actions, because I do a lot of busy work, which is
Okay.
helpful, but it's not making money. So what I'm going to do is I am going to reach out to 10 people. I'm not cold, but slightly warm. I'm going to reach out to 10 people, and I'm going to see if they know anyone or if they are interested in taking the whole body wellness boot camp,
okay.
which will just be 1 month.
It's a 1 month? It's a 1 month plan? Okay.
Yep, just 1
Okay.
month. The introductory type.
By the way, is everybody friends on Facebook or something? What is it? What is it? What do you have, Linda? Well, I couldn't see it very well.
Okay, so my commitment.
Yes. Well, you were showing a book. What is the book? Were you showing a book?
Or were you swatting at a fly?
Oh, no, I must have been. I moved my notes.
Okay, well, I thought you were trying to show us a book. All right. What it's okay.
No, my commitment is that, it's going to be a time pressured thing because I'm doing this presentation on Tuesday.
Right.
So my commitment is doing all of the prep for that presentation. I've got the invites out. I've on some places, and I'm trying to get it out more, but I'm just about done with that kind of thing because we're getting up to the deadline.
Right.
So it's about practicing the presentation, and that's enough of a commitment, I think, right there.
Yes, and then she'll be here next week, everybody. I will send out on Monday, probably the, just a reminder, I may not get another one sent to you the day of, but Linda will be here. And so I guess what I would say is everybody knows what you said. I was wondering about Diane because she said social media on Facebook. Is everybody connected with her are we connected with each other, I guess, on Facebook? Until last week, I didn't even know that, or was it the week before, Danielle? I didn't know you're under Coach Danielle. No, it's not Coach Danielle, is it?
Well, you will find me on so many different names, but so
That's okay. You're all over. That's good.
yeah, indeed. Coach Danielle is the business page, and then my personal friends page, which you all are invited to be my friend if you want to be, is Hey Danielle, which
H-E Danielle, right?
yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull it up and link it because I'll give you the link down so that way it's easier for y'all. It's easy enough now that I see it, but still.
And and Diane, I know that I am friends with you on Facebook now, but what is it Diane? Is it your name?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have a business page yet.
And is
working
it
on
like
that.
in a city or I don't,
I know I had a hard time finding her at the beginning too, but I don't remember why. Is it? No. It doesn't have anything to do with Aflac on your link on your Facebook, right?
No, it's strictly a personal.
Yeah, I did find you. I know I did, but I think there might have been a couple others. Maybe that was the question.
No.
Are you finding?
Mine's the one with no picture.
there's no
Oh,
picture.
there's no
I can't
picture.
That
find a
narrows
good
it down.
picture.
That's easy
That's
enough.
been my
She has
excuse
no
for the last
picture.
10 years.
Oh, I think I found you. Oh, it doesn't have an S. No, it's different.
I don't think there's
Actually,
another
some of
Diane
you, I
Jakes.
think, are on my private page, but not my business page, which is Profit Detectives.
Oh, I don't know
Ooh,
that.
I don't know
Okay.
that either.
Profit
Profit.
Detectives. Okay.
That's cool.
I like that.
So what I would ask, I guess, is, you know what? We will have a couple more really good meetings, and I'm sorry I can't be here next week. I know Linda's on vacation the last week. You know, let's chat about where you might, if you can join us in another group. This group that Danielle and I'm sure we're all going to be part of it at some point, because I'm hoping that we will find other mastermind members as we go into the fall and all of that kind of thing. You know, I just think we've got places for everybody. And I would just hate to have us get all connected here and finally find profit detectives, and then I never see Linda again, although Linda is in our network. So, but I'm just explaining, you know, we go this, we're getting to know each other so well now. It's kind of like, why wouldn't we, you know, continue this experience, even if we're in a different group? But this particular group will launch again. I decided June, July. We'll either do it in August or September, and we can talk about that at the end on the 25th. The reason being that I just don't want to start it and have, you know, a bunch of people say, oh, I'm on vacation or whatever. Now, in this area, school starts, I think, in middle of August. Angie would be able to tell us. A lot of times that is the, you know, and we're in the middle of the week. Do people take off the middle of the week? I don't know. But we know June and July are always kind of hit and miss no matter what. So but anyway, I hope that answers the question. And thank you, Diane. We're so glad you're back. Looking forward.
Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. Looking forward to hearing everything from next week, Linda and Danielle. Thank you. And Nicole, as always, we will find a time tomorrow. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Everybody have a great night. And
You
I will see you
too.
soon. Thank you.
Bye.
So
Thank
good to see
you.
everybody. Thank you.